I'm Rich Harris. I'm a chef and a food stylist, but when I'm not working, there's nothing I like more than cooking for my friends and family. But entertaining can be stressful. So in my new Simply Gourmet series, I'm going to show you how to cook dishes that are easy to prepare, guaranteed to impress, and will have your guests licking their plates clean. In this episode of my series, I'm going to show you how to make a luxurious, but simple to prepare, pea and goat's cheese risotto. So, first thing we need to do is melt some butter in a pan. And a little splash of olive oil. So the butter's going to add richness to the risotto and the oil is going to stop the butter from burning. So now our butter's foaming, we've just got one finely chopped shallot, just go in there. Try and chop your shallot as finely as possible. Ideally you don't want them to be bigger than the grains of rice because they're going to really stick out, and we want a really nice, luxurious, smooth risotto. So cook those over a medium heat, and then I'm just going to add a clove of garlic. Take the flat blade of your knife and just squash the garlic, and then using 3 fingers on the flat of the blade, run the garlic into the board. So just work it into the board, scoop it up, and you've got garlic puree. For a full list of ingredients, check out the description box. So next it's time to add the rice. I'm using a variety called Nano, which has got a really lovely long grain, but still nice and fat, so it goes really creamy. But you could use any other type of risotto rice, like arborio or carnaroli. So we just want to cook the rice for a good couple of minutes to start to toast those grains, and they're going to turn translucent on the outside and take on a bit of a nutty flavour. And this is where our risotto is going to really start to develop. Now our grains are toasted, they're starting to turn translucent, we need to add a good glug of wine. So this is dry white wine. This is where we're going to start to really build the flavours of the risotto. And we want to cook this out till the wine is nearly completely evaporated. All we want to do is keep the flavour of the wine and get rid of the alcohol. So give it a sniff. If the alcohol sort of burns your nostrils a bit, you need to cook it for longer. So we just want to leave the flavour of the wine and get rid of all that alcohol. The most important thing for risotto is at all stages you want to keep stirring it all the time. So if I smell that, I can smell all the fruity flavours of the wine, but all of the alcohol's gone and nearly all the liquid's disappeared. So now it's time to start adding our stock. The stock I've got is on a gentle simmer. You want to make sure that your stock is hot, because otherwise you're going to keep reducing the temperature of the risotto and having to bring it back up. It's very difficult to control the cooking. So just add a ladleful at a time, and then just keep stirring in. You want to keep making sure you're working the risotto, because you want to work all that starch into the risotto itself. Also, make sure you use a nice wide flat pan for risotto. You don't want to be using a tall-sided saucepan, because what will happen is the grains will all cook at the bottom and then the rice that's on top will be raw. So already we can see that the starch is being released from the rice. It's all kind of pooling around the outside of the grains, and as we drag back, the rice is kind of moving in on its own accord. So just keep working the risotto, adding the stock a ladle at a time until you've got about 100 ml of stock left, which we need for something else later. The risotto is nearly cooked and we've got a bit of our stock left. We just want to take the risotto off the heat, and what we can see is it's now just really nice and creamy, but there'll still be a bit of bite there as well in the rice. To our remaining stock, I'm just going to add some frozen peas and some spinach. Now, we're not really going to taste the spinach, but the spinach is packed full of chlorophyll, and so it's going to give it a really nice vibrant green colour. And just give it a bit of a stir around. So this is cooked down just enough to wilt the spinach and warm the peas through. So we just need to blitz this to a really nice smooth puree, and then that's going to be added into our risotto to give it a lovely vibrant colour. Okay, there we are. So that's what we're looking for, a really vibrant, bright, smooth green puree. Risotto just back on the heat, and then we're going to add in our puree. So by pureeing the peas and spinach, what we're doing is just elevating the dish a bit. So rather than having whole peas in there, we're just making it really luxurious and smooth, and just kind of adding that gourmet touch to it. So our risotto is almost there. To finish our risotto, is going to beat in some cold butter. It's really important the butter's cold so that it doesn't split and it emulsifies as you beat it in. And then also we're going to finish with some parmesan cheese. So take it off the heat and just beat that butter and cheese in. It just needs a little pinch of salt because we've already got parmesan cheese in there, which is naturally quite salty. So we're just going to plate it up and make it look really pretty and make those colours really sing. So just spoon some risotto into the bottom of your serving dish. So just to finish off with, we've got some soft goat's cheese. And you could chop it, but to be honest, it's just nice just to crumble little bits in. And just dot a few bits around the top. And lastly, just to give it a bit of vibrancy, a bit of extra texture, some pea shoots. So just going to scrunch those up and sit them in the middle. So there you have it, my pea and goat's cheese risotto. I hope you enjoyed the recipe, and I look forward to seeing you back in the kitchen soon for another episode of my Simply Gourmet series.